Yo, peace, what's up, soul family? This is Brian, and in today's video, we're discussing how to manifest and create with the third eye. So the third eye is the sixth chakra located right in the center of the brain, inside the skull, the pineal gland. It is our spiritual gateway. It allows us to connect to alternate realities, different dimensions, different possibilities in the quantum field, because all is now. So our ability to perceive all these different things that could happen or may happen, all these potential realities, can serve us in our lives today in this linear expression of life on Earth when we're creating something for our future. So the first couple ways to process this and understand is to understand that our third eye allows us to visualize. So when we close our eyes, if we just visualize a scenario we want to be in the future, say we want to take a trip, say we want a relationship, say that we want a new home, we want to move, whatever it may be. When we close our eyes, we're using the third eye to visualize and see those details. We're using our imagination. And as adults, especially in our society, we don't use our imagination nearly as much as we could. Growing up as children, we used it all the time. If you have kids or if you play with kids, you'll see that they are in touch with the imagination. We can dig a hole and find a treasure chest and it's not even there, but in their minds, it's there. They're seeing it. They're so in tune. They're tapped in. But with us in our adult lives, that energy is suppressed. So that energy is also the same ability we have to see potential realities and to create them and bring them into our own linear timeline and our experience on this planet. So when we use the visualization, if we really focus on seeing all the details, for example, last year my girlfriend and I wanted to go to Mexico. We wanted to take a trip to Tulum. And we had been wanting to go on that trip for, years, go down south, hit up the beach during the winter. Eventually what we did last year, we would sit and we would just focus on being there, feeling the air, seeing the sand in your toes, feeling how good it would feel to be in another environment, and basically creating all that and seeing the different architecture, seeing the different trees and the different flora and fauna, and just imagining speaking Spanish, imagining being in a different scenario. And eventually we were able to make that happen. All the different things lined up, and what happens is you visualize, when you use your third eye like that, when you put yourself in a situation where you're feeling like you're there, you're bringing it into your now experience, what'll happen is your subconscious believes you're there. So in all the cells in my body, I'm all believing I'm here now. So what it's going to drive me to do, it's going to give me some new intuitive thoughts and ideas on how to actually make that happen. Different actions that I can take to make this dream happen. So it's very similar of a process when we think about a memory, right? When we imagine something that has already happened to us, there's already a belief that it's real because we've experienced it and it happened to us. But when we use our imagination, we're still pulling up those details. We can still feel what it's like to be in that situation. We can still smell the smells or hear the different sounds. And it's the same kind of capacity that we use with our imagination to also think about something that has not yet happened to us that we would wish to happen to us in the future. So that's the biggest way to use the third eye to manifest, and that's visualization. So it's not just about a dream or a big life goal, but this is pretty much your day-to-day life. When we have a situation come to us or a circumstance, and say it's something that's very difficult, say we lose a friend, say we're confronted, we lose a job, all these things happen to us in our lives. No matter what we're doing, we're going to have to face contrast and duality. But using our third eye, when we open that up and we expand it, we can see all probabilities can exist. So we can see the multitude of ways we can react to a circumstance. Either we can get angry, we can get upset, or we can take a deep breath and we can actually think about what course of action to take. So this is extremely important in daily life to be able to just close your eyes, take a breath, and just think about, visualize what direction you want to move in. When you're confronted with a choice, a difficult decision you need to make, using that capability, we can see, if you put the time and the energy into it, you can see what'll happen if you go down that road, and what'll happen if you go down this road. And you're able to forecast. So what happens is, we cultivate this visualization technique. We're bringing forth more of our intuition. We're bringing forth more of our higher self, more of our expanded self into this earthly linear experience, so that we can then live a more fulfilled life based on who we actually are, and not just what, say, society is given to us. So, when it comes to society and the different ideas and beliefs that other people have, when we use the third eye, we can kind of visualize beyond that. And we have to be able to understand what feels right to us. Because if I tell you this is the only way to believe, and it doesn't feel good to you, it's up to you to decide with your mind's eye, with your intuition, with everything that you are, if that will work for you or not. Because if it doesn't, there is another way. There's always another reality. There's another possibility. There's always a new place to explore. So when you want to bring forth something in your life, a goal or a dream, take time out of your day and just close your eyes. Find a nice, comfortable place and just close your eyes and visualize. Instead of saying, well, I want to go on this trip, or I want a relationship, or I want a new job, visualize what it's like having the job or the relationship or the trip. And see yourself there. See yourself in the experience, and craft out every single detail that you could possibly imagine. Now, this is not the easiest thing to do. It's really not, because we're so used to, engaging with all of our five senses. So to close our eyes and to use our imagination and our creative capabilities, some of which mostly have been suppressed for so many years due to the structure of society and, having to grow up in this world, it is very difficult. But if you do it, the more and more you do it, the easier and easier it gets. So the more details you craft out, the more you experience the feelings and the emotions of being there, you'll be so surprised, because what happens is you leave that experience and you might be going about your day, and then all of a sudden this thought comes in and tells you, well, hey, you can do this over here to get there. Have you thought about doing this? And that's your intuition speaking. And we often have these thoughts. It's either our ego, or it's our higher self, our graded self, our intuition, God, whatever you would like to call it. But when we are able to visualize more about what we truly are, what we want in our lives, we get more information from the greater aspect of who we are, who we really are. And those thoughts lead us to new ideas and actions, because as we were saying, that those ideas are embedded within our subconscious. When I say I am in Mexico, I'm enjoying this vacation, it feels good, that scenario led me to realize what actions I could take to make it happen. It's telling me, yeah, go find a flight, go find the best flight you can get. Okay, now what kind of places can you stay? So what we want to do is try to take these things and make them less esoteric and more realistic, so that we can take action on them. Because the reality is, we have the capability to bring in any possibility or probability into our physical experience. And this is a whole world that we are opening up, that we are all beginning to explore. More creative abilities to allow new things to happen for us that are aligned with our hearts and our souls and our passions. So I implore you, go visualize, go manifest, go start creating, whether it's just a simple decision of what you're going to eat today, that's a more high vibrational food, or if it's a huge life choice, whether it's a goal, whether it's a dream. Whatever it is, you can make it happen, you can manifest it, but first you must visualize yourself having it in the moment now. Feel the feelings throughout all the cells in your body, and that rewires your subconscious, and that brings you forth new intuitive thoughts and ideas of where to take action and what to do to achieve that goal or that destiny. Much love. I'm Bryan. Peace.